I was going to do videos for these two moves that were made. This happened, one of them overnight, that the Vikings are signing Sam Darnold. But then as I'm walking out the door, getting ready to take my kids to school, I see that the Vikings are signing Aaron Jones. And I figured instead of doing two separate videos on that, let me just hop on the live stream, see how you guys are doing, and just talk about it in real time. So, first off, I stand on my stance that I think paying running backs is just not worth it. However, in this case, I have to give kudos to Kwesi Adafo-Mensah. This dude is aggressive as hell. Man, screw the analytics or whatever his process is. He's getting after it, and you can't deny that. Secondly, Packers fans are pissed, which obviously makes me happy. So I saw after I posted the day one reaction video, and also let me switch this so you guys can see it. I want to properly honor the signing of Aaron Jones. I saw that after I posted the day one reaction to Vikings free agency, shortly after uploading that Diana Rossini said that the Vikings were in on Aaron Jones. And I said, oh, okay, that's interesting. And actually, let's go back to this whole saga of what's happening. The Packers signed Josh Jacobs, or it was announced that they are signing Josh Jacobs. Players can't be signed until tomorrow. They're signing Josh Jacobs. And I said, they're really going to pay two running backs? They're going to have, I mean, it's a nice two-headed monster to have in the backfield, but they're really going to do that? Because they're obviously not cutting Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is the best way I can describe him. Aaron Jones is a guy who is more than a football player for the team he plays for, if that makes sense. There's only less than a handful of guys like that, whereas they are the son of the town. Jason Kelce in Philadelphia, Lamar Jackson in Baltimore, Aaron Jones in Green Bay. He's more than just a player to those towns, or those players are more than just that to the town that they play for. They're obviously not cutting Aaron Jones. And then it came out, oh, hey, we want you to take a pay cut. You're treating this guy like, I respect business. He's a running back. I get it. But there's some players you don't poke the bear with, ruffle feathers, because then there's an effect to your fan base. The Packers fans are pissed right now. I'm not taking a pay cut. All right, well, we're just going to go ahead and release you anyway. And we're going to sign Josh Jacobs. Wow. And this brother, Aaron Jones, you can tell, signing damn near or immediately with Minnesota, at least that announcement coming out. This brother has vengeance on the mind. He wants to get back and make the Packers pay for their sins with us. I love it. I'm all right. I don't like paying running backs, but I saw that he's going to get $7 million. So it's really just a small drop in the bucket. I'm cool with it, man. Kwesi is aggressive. The Matrix 29 says, I like Aaron Jones, but he's almost 30 years old. That's true. He's almost 30 and he's injury prone. Let's see how many games he missed last year, because I know that was a sticking point. Aaron Jones, Aaron Jones missed 6 games in 2023. He played for 11. I don't know if he was part of that playoff run that they had, but in the regular season, he only did 11 games. So he's getting up there in age at a position that deteriorates rather quickly, and he's injury prone. But when he's on the field, I mean, how many games against the Vikings did he absolutely destroy us? Now we got a chance to get back. I'm all right with it, man. I'm okay. $7 million is not that big of a deal. I still think you need to go after Eric Armstead or DJ Reader. I think we're going to do about an hour on this today. Might as well, just in case any other news happens. Make sure I keep refreshing my Twitter feed. But I'm good with it. And then Sam Darnold, hey, we should have been prepared for that because it was almost immediately after it was announced that Kirk Cousins was signing with the Falcons that the Vikings, they were in on Sam Darnold. So we should have saw this coming. I certainly did. And it's not, you got to drown out the outside noise. Don't let it sway you. I mean, I had buddies of mine texting me, Sam Darnold, oh man, you guys are going to be ass. And I'm like, this is not the end all be all. He might be the starting quarterback in 2024. That's not a given. They can still draft a quarterback. They can still be aggressive. You see how aggressive Kwesi is right now? They can still be aggressive to trade up for a top 3 pick and get a day 1 starter. And then best case, Sam Darnold is the QB2. But he's an insurance policy. It's a means to an end. This isn't, Sam Darnold is not the franchise quarterback of the Vikings now. They got out of a relationship with Kirk Cousins. You get out of a bad relationship, maybe it's a bit toxic, maybe not, but you know it's not right for you. And then you and your significant other, ex, that house that you shared with a 2-car garage, it's not your house anymore. You got to downgrade temporarily, move into an apartment. And not to say that you're going to be in that apartment for a while. You might get a promotion. This promotion being that the Vikings could trade up and still get a top 3 pick if possible. And if not, okay, JJ McCarthy, which apparently you got to trade up for him now based off of all that hype that he's getting. I'm good with it, man. Kwesi is absolutely crushing it. Francisco says, I'm thinking about her now. Thanks, Randy. Blue 350Z. Hey, you got a 350Z, man? What year? Says top 5 pick. Who you go with? Well, it's if it's a top 5 pick, I'm going to assume that you're, for the sake of what you're asking, I'm going to say pick 5, right? Because if it's top 5 pick, if it's pick 5, the first 3 picks, it's going to be the top 3 quarterbacks. JJ McCarthy. I'm okay with that too. He could be good. I don't think he's a first round guy. I just don't. He can be good. He just needs to sit and learn. But top 5, I think it's all this hype that he's been getting. But yeah, I mean, I think McCarthy is the last best hope that you have. Because if you have to go with Penix, I mean, there could be something there with him too. But then after him, Spencer Rattler, Bo Nix. Although I wouldn't mind taking a flyer late, no matter who you draft in the first round, taking a flyer on Jordan Travis. I mean, who knows where his stock would be had he not gotten hurt at the end of the year. Very unfortunate for him. Blue says 04 350Z, 60K on it. Hey, that thing's going to last a while. Jeremy M says Jaden Daniels or bust. That's where I'm at, quite honestly. Drake May is honestly my QB1, but I just feel like the highest ceiling, the player with the highest ceiling is Jaden Daniels. That is Lamar Jackson 2.0. I feel. Cyrus says Bo Nix is a top 5 quarterback. In the preseason, if no one else plays and there's only 5 quarterbacks playing. Bo Nix is awful, bro. Like, that dude is a check down merchant, gets rid of the ball quickly, screen passes, dump off passes at Oregon, and the players, his receivers and running backs, did the rest of the work. He is fool's gold. I would not entertain that at all. I'll take Spencer Rattler over Bo Nix. Brian W. says, check out Chris Sims regarding Drake May. Yeah, I saw that. He had Drake May as, I think, QB6 with Bo Nix ahead of him. I think he's just honestly trolling. Like, knowing that saying something as outrageous as that is going to draw engagement. There's no way he actually believes that. But yeah, he had May as QB6. That's ridiculous. Chunky B says McCarthy is better under pressure and makes better decisions than May. He also went through his progressions well in an NFL system. I will say this about JJ McCarthy, man. What you want from a quarterback is not just versatility, staying in the pocket, but also mobility. But when you get outside the pocket, how are your throws? JJ McCarthy might have the best throws on the run in college football from last year. I mean, the touch, the accuracy, throwing guys open, those are NFL throws that he made outside the pocket. But people are down on Drake May, huh? Yeah, McCarthy, he gets outside, boy. That Jimmy says, make more vids, Randy. Need more content. Hey, I'm working right now, man. Put out a lot yesterday. Doing a live stream right now. Hey, actually, while I'm sitting here flapping my gums, any updates? Updates. Any more signings? Nope. Still adding on from yesterday, Sam Darnold and Aaron Jones, which I'm good with, both of them. Just need a defensive tackle, man. You get one defensive tackle. DJ Reader, Eric Armstead, Leonard Williams, all still out there. Which Leonard Williams to me will be a consolation prize. I don't mind him, but I would still say, hey, you at least addressed a position of need. I'd be down for it. Just one of those guys, bro. And you are set. Did Kwesi eliminate having to go edge high in the draft with Greenard and Van Ginkel? Love it. Eye for Talent says Leonard Williams signed. Oh, he re-signed with Seattle? Okay, so he's out. I did not see that. Okay. DJ Reader, go after him, or Eric Armstead. I did not see that. Thank you for that update. Mark says the trade JJ segments are on ESPN again. Yeah, don't drown out the outside noise, man. Because all they're going to do is come up with hot takes. Oh, well, Justin Jefferson, he doesn't have Kirk Cousins anymore. He must be pissed. They should trade him. Come on, man. We know what's up. We know what the Vikings are doing. National media that doesn't pay attention in detail to teams, like local media, like content creators that focus on the Vikings, we know. We know what's up. Don't let it affect you. Nebraska says, I think Justin Fields is becoming a possibility. He might. I think I saw from Ian Rappaport last night after uploading the last video I did reacting to day one of Vikings free agency. Ian Rappaport said that the Bears aren't necessarily sold on trading him just yet, anyway. So, but even if they do eventually decide, hey, let's go ahead and do it. I mean, all these teams, they're starting to figure out their quarterback situation. Pittsburgh, Atlanta. Where is Gardner Minshew? He went with the Raiders. Starting to get thin. Any updates? Yeah, Leonard Williams re-signed with Seattle, huh? That's all right. He was my in free agency as far as what was left. Leonard Williams was my D tackle 3 anyway. Top 2 guys are still out there. Kwesi Adofo-Mensah is building, bro. DG says Javon Kinlaw agrees to be a Jet, bro. He has been so disappointing. He came out of, I want to say, South Carolina and had so much hype and was such a letdown. Let me just do a fact check on that. Pretty sure he played at South Carolina. Yeah, he played at South Carolina and went to the San Francisco 49ers, 14th overall in the first round. And I think I was doing videos on this guy too, saying, man, I hope the Vikings go after him. Nah. I'm super good. But he's going to the Jets, huh? Yeah, good for him. VIP status, Tavondre Sweat, 11th overall. Trade back in the first for Penix. I don't even think you have to trade back in the first. I think he'll be there for you at 42. That's just my hunch. Grant Johnson, either way, this reset feels so refreshing. Feels like the season is unpredictable for once. It really is. Because with the other guy, all right, 8-9, 9-8, maybe a little bit better. Squeeze into the playoffs, not do much, but at least I'm just focused on the plan of action here. What are the Vikings doing? They are laying down a foundation, bricks for the future that you can see it. They're building up this defense right now, which I wouldn't be surprised if I see one more move made today for a starter, D tackle. This is for the future, bro. 24 is 24. Let it be. I saw reports saying that the Vikings may consider, well, not may consider, more so should the Vikings consider releasing Garrett Bradbury. I mean, who do you even replace him with at this juncture? You had so many holes to begin with this offseason. You may have to roll with him for one more year and then address it. But he definitely needs to go at some point. In every team's arsenal, you need to have the ability on 3rd and inches, 4th and inches. If you're going to go for it, you need to have the capability of a center, an offensive line to be able to do the QB sneak. And as we saw in Cincinnati, that did not happen. Everyone blamed Brandon Powell or KOC for using Brandon Powell as the push guy. It didn't matter. Garrett Bradbury got blown up to smithereens on the QB sneaks in that game. He doesn't have the strength. So whether they move on this year or next year, we'll see. Colin Ireland drafts Cedric Van Pran from Georgia. If they want to address it now, sure. That means you would have to, because you don't have a third round pick, that means you would have to get your quarterback in the first round and get Van Pran in the second at 42. But that'd be nice. Still need a D tackle, man, in this draft. Still need one. Vocal Vike, rap. What's going on, brother? We out here. Too much going on this morning to do separate videos, man. I was like, let me just hop on the live stream real quick for an hour. We got about 40 minutes, man. Any updates, whatever, live reaction, we doing it. Aaron Jones, Sam Darnold. Aaron Jones, he stay healthy. That's a nice 1-2 punch you got there with he and Ty Chandler chilling. Think about how many positions of need that Kwesi has already addressed. Edge, ×2. Linebacker. Running back. Quarterback, 1 or 2. Although you're left with scraps at that point if Sam Darnold's going to be QB1. Kwesi is crushing it right now. Should Minnesota re-sign Dalton Risner? They should. But D tackle, let's say, because I don't know what the cap situation is. I'm pretty sure they don't update it on Over the Cap or Spotrac until Wednesday when the signings become official, right? Let me see. But let's say, hypothetically speaking, before I do that, let's say, hypothetically speaking, you only have enough cap for one more significant move. DJ Reader or Risner? Decisions. I do want Risner back, though. Eric Armstead, you might be able to get him on the cheap. So maybe you can get both of those players. Let me see if it's updated over the cap. Vikings. Nope. No change. Can't change it till Wednesday. So your guess is as good as mine as far as what they can do. Now, also, they can go ahead and start making cuts. Harrison Smith, for example, that's going to be the big one. Free up some cap space. It's not about just all addition, but also subtraction. Red Switch, what do you think about XFL kicker signing in Romo? What XFL kicker? I'm not sure what you're referring to. Nate says sign Risner or D tackle, then go opposite in the second round. Okay. Not a bad plan. You got options. You got choices. I think because you got to think about the long term. Whoever that draft pick is going to be in that second round, who do you want longer? Who do you think is going to last longer compared to the free agent that you signed? You've got DJ Reader. He's getting up there in age. Eric Armstead. He's kind of getting up there in age, but he's not too old. I guess I would take the O lineman in the second round. But you can't go wrong either way. But Aaron Jones, that dude is pissed. Hey, I tell you what, man. Aaron Jones, I would feed into that vengeance if I'm the Vikings coaching staff, especially practices leading up to Packers games. Those running back meetings that they have after Ty Chandler and Kane Wangu dips out. Be like, hey, Aaron Jones, hey, nobody else is around. All right, hey, sit tight for a second. Look at these tweets, man. They tried to cut you, bro. Or tried to cut you. They tried to get you to take a pay cut, bro. They don't respect you at all. They signed Josh Jacobs. They think he's better than you. What you gonna do about it, Aaron Jones? What you gonna do, baby? Just saying. If he stays healthy, he's gonna go all the way off. And it's gonna be amazing. Joker Nation says, what about getting a cornerback? Thoughts? I would say that's the last position to address. That front set, well, the linebackers you've got to address, but the interior defensive line, you've got to hammer that before looking at corner. But in regards to L'Jarius Sneed, I guess as long as, well, actually at this point in time, with the signings that you are going to make along outside linebacker and inside linebacker, if you do have one more significant move, I don't want it to be L'Jarius Sneed. You still have major problems on the interior defensive line. That would be a waste. But corner in general, just the position itself, Armstead, Reader, draft a D tackle, and then take a cornerback later in the draft. I'd do that. But I'm tired of having these corners just run around forever, not getting pressure on the quarterback. And Jordan brings up a good point. The Brian Flores effect is real. He really does get the most out of players. One of the few defensive coaches that can do that can overcompensate for lack of talent. All right. Any updates? Anything. Come on. Anything at all. Hey, you want to know who's really good as far as posting updates quicker than like Bleacher Report or any of the other guys out there? Obviously, except for the big NFL insiders, Ian Rappaport, Diana Rossini, etc. The Purple Persuasion, man. On Twitter at TPP Skull. Anything that's happening, they are on top of it right away. But so far, no updates. Still riding the wave of Sam Darnold and Aaron Jones. Got about a half hour left, man. Laura Lee, love the glasses, Randy. Honoring Aaron Jones right now. Just need a sombrero next. Then I'll complete the ensemble. Gary says, Jaden Daniels or McCarthy, if available when Vikes are on the board. Oh, Jaden Daniels all day. Easy. Blue 350Z, honest opinions. If Darnold is the starter, you might go 5-12, 4-13. It's going to be rough. Or I don't know, man. What if he does have a turnaround like Baker Mayfield? We build up this defense, strengthen the offensive line. You got Justin Jefferson. What if Jordan Addison? What if you know what? This is a silver spoon in his mouth in terms of football, Sam Darnold. But realistically speaking, like 5-12, it's going to be pretty bad. It's going to be bad. But it's temporary. It's a means to an end. It's all good. But hey, if Kwesi trades up for a top 3 pick, we are rolling. We're having a different conversation right now. What would the Vikings record be with Jaden Daniels as a starter next year? Super Bowl bound, baby. Any updates? TPP? Nothing. I'm just going to keep them right here and just refresh it every couple of minutes. Red says, per NBC Sports, Vikings agree to terms with kicker John Parker Romo from XFL. San Antonio Brahmas. Great. Oh, did we just... We're signing a kicker? What's his name? John Parker Romo. All right. Greg Joseph, he really does need to get up out of here. Oh, yeah, I see it. I see it from Alec Lewis, Tom Pelissero. Oh, John Parker Romo. Does he have any NFL experience? Let's find out. Coming from the XFL, he, let's see, doesn't appear to have any NFL experience. Nope. All right, shot in the dark here. Reaction on that is I'll take anybody but Greg Joseph. So sure, why not? So 3 moves being made today. Aaron Jones, John Parker Romo, and Sam Darnold. Now, Greg Joseph, bro, like extra points, field goal conversion rate towards the bottom of the league. Wasn't necessarily responsible for any losses the last 2 years, I would say, but certainly didn't help. I mean, if you want to take a flyer on a XFL kicker, why not bring in Destroying? Just for S&Gs. But John Parker Romo could be good. There's no track record of him as far as attempting a kick in the league. But okay. TPP, what you got? Billy the Kid, you would need to get to 2 to get Daniels, as he's now QB2. What would that cost? After the swap, give him 11. It's going to be at least 2 more future first round picks. Might have to give up 42 as well. 11, 42 plus 2 future firsts is what I would say. John says, re-sign Jefferson today, trade back in the first and get the center from Oregon. With extra second, get Penix and Sweat in second, cut Lowry and Hitman. That's a lot of work right there. I'm open to anything, man. You trust Penix enough to trade back in the first round? I think once you get past McCarthy, you're in murky territory. Mark says anyone but Daniels. Damn, guy can't read a defense, and it's built like a toothpick. Well, he is a bit frail, I will say that. Get him in the weight room. He'll be all right. But anyone but Daniels? You'll take Bo Nix over Daniels? It's a hot take. Knowledge says Penix is going end of the first. You're not the first to say that in this live stream either. I feel like you can get him at 42. There's hype with Penix now? Really? To where he's a first round projected pick? What is happening? Beckman says, I trust Bo Nix way more than McCarthy! What are you doing, Beckman? Beckman! I trust Bo Nix way more than McCarthy. When has JJ been the reason Michigan won a game? Beckman, what are we doing, man? You trust Bo Nix? I could throw checkdowns. What is happening in this stream? Penix is a first round picks. He's a first round pick. Bo Nix is better than JJ McCarthy. I know it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Are we all drinking this morning? I'm not. That is wild, bro. All right. You got it. Mark. Okay. All right, man. Mark, in that case, if you're the GM, you're fired after this. I'll take Bo Nix at 11 versus trading 3 firsts for Daniels. Nah, man. Hey, y'all trolling. Y'all are not serious right now. What has become of this live stream? Jateri Bias says, all right, we got to get back to, hey, let's bring the equilibrium back, man. Says Skull Brother number 1 checking in from South Carolina. Hey, appreciate you. What do you think will or would take us to the next level? I love the content, bro. Skull. I appreciate you, man. I think Kwesi just needs to keep doing what he's been doing as of yesterday. Build up this defense as best as you can in free agency. You may have to make a tough decision between a D tackle and Dalton Reisner, but you can always make up for whoever you lose out on in the draft. But I just think D tackle would be the way to go. Continue to build up this defense. Be aggressive in trying to trade up for the quarterback that you think you need. That's going to be your guy for the long haul. You have receivers. You have a half decent offensive line. Just keep building. What Kwesi is doing right now is building. 2024, everybody can go all whatever on that and say Sam Darnold, if he's going to be the starter, how could you do that? Whatever. It's not about that. It's about the future. Keep building. And eventually, success will come your way. Do the work. And Kwesi's working. TPP. Any updates? Make sure you follow them, man. At TPP Skull on Twitter. All the latest stuff that's happening. Okay, TPP. They got some stats on new kicker John Parker Romo. He has not attempted a kick in a regular season NFL game, but his 2023 XFL stats 17 for 19 in total field goals. Okay, so 89.5% field goal conversion rate. Perfect from 20 to 29 yards. Let's see. Once you get to 40 to 49 yards, he's 7 for 7. 2 for 3, 50 to 59. His longest field goal kick in the XFL last year was 57 yards. Okay. Those are some good numbers. 7 for 7 from 40 to 49. That's really good. Okay. Brought to you by TPP. Chris says John Parker Romo is a great name. It really is. King in the North, the past 24 hours, what free agency period is like on Madden every year for all the haters? What moves did the Twins to the fan this year? Be thankful the Vikings spend money. Yeah, I don't keep up with the Minnesota Twins at all, so I have no idea what's happening there. But if you're a Vikings fan, I mean, unless you're still upset about Kirk Cousins leaving and he's the savior and all that stuff, that aside, Kwesi is cooking. I mean, this whole time it's like, let Kwesi cook, let Kwesi cook. I'm like, what the hell is this dude cooking, man? Bologna and cheese sandwiches? Nah, he's making some filet mignon right now, bro. Blur Skull says, let's rejoice from or the release of Dean Lowry. Has he been released yet? Has that been announced? Let's see. Go to Bleacher Report on that one. He needs to go. You want to talk about bologna sandwiches? That was Dean Lowry last year. I don't know who this new Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah guy thinks he is, but he's completely different from what he was last year. Marcus Davenport, Dean Lowry. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Oh, my God. But nah, Dean Lowry, he needs to go. Anything? I don't see anything on him, but you have to think he'll eventually be cut, right? There's no way they're bringing him back. Mark says trading 3 first-rounders for Daniels will get you fired. Mark, for GM, I will turn this bleep around. We all love the Vikings. Anyone but Daniels, guys, please. But aren't you the guy that said you would take Bo Nix at 11 over trading 3 first-round picks for Jaden Daniels? At least if you trade 3 first-round picks for Daniels, you buy yourself some time as a GM. You take Bo Nix at 11, you're fired immediately. Laura Lee says, Randy, your hologram is not spin. Oh, you're right. How much time we got left? Less than 20 minutes. Might go a little bit over. Let me do that. My bad. Please hold. Here we go. Thank you for noticing. Completely forgot. More of your thoughts. King in the North. The difference between this front office and the previous one is that they seem to have a plan where the previous one was throwing darts. They missed a few of the last 2 years, but I trust them. I don't know if I'm close to trusting Kwesi. This is a damn good start. I don't know if I'm quite there just yet, but I'm giving him credit. He has a lot of ground to make up from the last 2 years, but you can see that they're putting a plan into action right now. You can see it in real time. Speaking of real time, TPP. Yeah, Aaron Jones, $7 million. Cool. Sam Darnold, it's not written in stone that he's going to be the QB1 at all. There's still the draft. They can still trade up before the draft. We don't know what's going to happen yet in 2024. And it's kind of exciting. Lawrence says, bring back Lesnar and Vikings go undefeated. Put him in at linebacker. Have him do the F5 on Josh Jacobs. Tackle for loss with an F5. Chris says, do you think Harrison Smith will be released or retire? I haven't heard much about this recently. At some point, some news is going to happen. There's no way that Harrison Smith has I want to say an $18 million cap hit. Let's see. I mean, maybe they have him take a pay cut, but quite honestly, his play wasn't. It's fallen off. He has a $19 million cap hit for 24. You go ahead and release him, and you save $11.3 million. I mean, there's no way they're keeping him on that roster with that cap hit. Something's going to happen. I think Kwesi's too focused on cooking right now, bringing in players that maybe he's saying, all right, Wednesday, when it's time for these deals to become official, or before Wednesday, we'll go ahead and start making some cuts. But his play has just declined. I think it's over. He had that one game. He had that one game against Carolina, which I think that might be the best game of his career. If not, it's up there. But nah, nowhere close to the player that he once was. Joker says Vikings just released Dean Lowry. Did they? We'll celebrate. TPP. Ah, it's official! Hey! According to Tom Pelissero, the Vikings have released defensive lineman Dean Lowry. I said we're going to find out a lot about this guy, Kwesi Adofo-Mensah. You made a mistake. All right? Dean Lowry, that was a failure of a signing last year. That doesn't make you a failure, Kwesi Adofo-Mensah. Did you learn from it? All right, how are you going to correct this? Bam, released. You want to know who wouldn't make a quick turnaround like that, recognizing the mistake? Rick Spielman. His moves, this dude would run all his players into the ground until the very last drop was out. There's no way that Rick would have been, hey, that was bad. Let me go ahead and cut this guy. Hey! Skol Vikings, let's win this game. Skol Vikings, honor your name. He's out of there. Whoo! Kwesi's getting after it, man. Got about 12 minutes left. We'll see if anything else is done. Smitty! When Kwesi fails, he learns the next season he isn't overreacting, either by cutting the players. He isn't overreacting either by cutting the players instantly. Daniel Carlson, for example. Ooh. Yeah, that did come back to bite us in the ass. Mark says, can we release Bradbury now? So you're going to take Bo Nix at 11 and release his starting center? No, I'm just messing with you. Bradbury doesn't need to go, though. I don't know whether it's this year or next year. It just depends on the resources you still have available to address the primarily interior defensive line. I would put center ahead of cornerback as far as prioritizing. Because I think even with our current cornerback room, you boost up this interior D line, they'll be straight. The secondary. Chris says, hear me out, Ed Ingram, breakout season. He had his breakout season last year, I would say. He was pretty good. Depressed Twins fan. Bradbury has more, I think you meant to say receiving yards than Kellen Mond. does passing yards. He's elite. Yeah. That game against Green Bay with Sean Mannion. Of course he catches a pass from Sean Mannion. Don't get me started on that guy again. Todd Fields, stop! No! No! Hold up. Okay, I don't see anything yet. Nope. Let me fact check this. Come on, you SOBs. Anything? I don't. Nope. Yeah, you're trolling me. You're trolling me, Todd. This is false. Todd, you somebody. The Press Twins fan says, how much is Danielle going to cost? It's crazy that he hasn't agreed to a deal yet, because once the money is offered, he's going to take it. It doesn't matter where he goes. I mean, I would think he would get around 25 mil a year, especially with these contracts coming out. Christian Wilkins, I know different positions, but still Christian Wilkins, Chris Jones. I mean, Danielle Hunter has the case to say, hey, I need to be up there too. He was getting 20 mil a year the last, 2 years in Minnesota. Now with inflation of the cap, I'd say close to 25. Blur Skull, if you had a choice, Ewers, Sanders, or Beck next year. It's not even close. Shedeur, Sanders. Easy. Todd, I can't get over that. Saying Danielle Hunter going to the Green Bay Packers. That is not true. Vikings are also releasing William Kwenku. Saves about $1 million in cap. Oh, man. So the cuts are... First, it was Dean Lowry. Now it's William Kwenku. The cuts are raining. Nebraska says if Danielle goes to Green Bay, we riot. Might have to riot. Disclaimer, I'm not saying riot because YouTube's weird like that. Jokingly. Joking, YouTube. Got less than 10 minutes. Come on, man. Give me something. Give me an Eric Armstead signing. Or DJ Reader signing. I'm going to go nuts if that happens. Come on, Quasi. I promise I won't be greedy after that. Honoring Aaron Jones today. Blur Skull says, what's our official cap space at now? I have no idea. Over the Cap and Spotrac will not update until these signings are official. I mean, maybe an NFL insider is guesstimating on Twitter right now, but I have no idea. It has not changed at all on Spotrac and Over the Cap. Not sure. George says we need a kicker ASAP. We got one. Got one, baby. What's his name? John Parker Romo? Let me make sure I'm saying his name right. I'm going to have to get used to that. His name is, John Parker Romo from the XFL. Perfect last year in 2023 from a distance of 40 to 49 yards. 7 for 7, 50 to 59 yards, 2 of 3. 57 was his longest make last year. This according to the Purple Persuasion, which, by the way, folks, I'm telling you, need to go follow them on Twitter, man. Their updates are right on time. Come on, man. Just need a D tackle, man. Might need to build the statue for Kwesi if he does it. That's when I fully trust. You remember earlier where I was saying, I don't know if I'm quite there yet to trust Kwesi, but man, you get one of these guys in the trenches. Built the statue. Blue 350Z, just one big signing today, please. It's all I ask. That's it. Mark, we finally agree on something. DT. Chris says Akers, Chandler would have been chill, but Aaron Jones is going to be fun to watch. Yes, he is. He's a baller. There's no competition for RB1, by the way, folks. It's going to be Aaron Jones as long as he's healthy. But Ty Chandler as RB2 is pretty sweet. Blur Skull, if you had a choice, DJ Reader or Danielle at 25 mil. Well, now that you included the money, obviously I would go Danielle Hunter. I wouldn't pay DJ Reader that much. But just player for player right now, money not being a thing, because you already are signing, you agreed to deals with Greenard and Van Ginkel. By default, it's DJ Reader. Smitty, whoever is the quarterback, he's going to have probably the best circumstances in the league. I am so hyped. Same. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that it's going to automatically be a horrible year next year. You've seen quarterbacks kind of bounce back and have these weird years. Case Keenum in 2017, Baker Mayfield last year. Rich Gannon is the ultimate example. We'll see what happens. It's at least interesting. Chris says, hell, sign A.J. Dillon too and really stick it to the Packers. I don't think the Packers fan base would care if we signed A.J. Dillon. He's not on that level of Aaron Jones as far as being the son of the town. There's only a few players in the league that has that type of cachet. I mentioned Lamar Jackson, Jason Kelsey, although he's retiring, and Aaron Jones. George Kittle, I think, is close to that tier in San Francisco, but certainly not in Santa Clara where Levi Stadium is. That dude could walk, but he could walk past any one of those techies out there on the sidewalk of Bowers Avenue and they wouldn't even recognize him. They wouldn't even know who he is. Because all they care about is tech. But no, I don't think they would care if we signed A.J. Dillon. But Aaron Jones, that fan base, they care. They are so pissed. Depressed Twins fan, imagine if we drafted Kyle Hamilton. You're living in the past, man. Got to celebrate. Chris says, are you going to any games this season? I might go to the Giants. I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. I haven't figured out any plans for next year. But once I do, I will let you know. For sure. All right, come on. One more update. TPP, what you got? Anything? Nothing since the release of William Quenku. Looks like that's going to be it for now. What's going to happen? I know what's going to happen. The moment that I get off of this live stream, they're going to sign a defensive tackle or agree to terms to signing a defensive tackle. Give it 5 more minutes because we're at an hour right now. I said I would do an hour. Let's give it 5 more minutes. It seems like we're all in agreement here. Reader or Armstead. Token says, Cam watching your stream, rubbing his hands like Birdman. Nah, man. Don't watch the stream, Quasi. Get to work. Sign one of these DTs. Come on, baby. Come on. I'm refreshing this page like crazy. Nothing. Come on, bro. Smashing Pumpkin. Super chat. I appreciate you, brother. Good morning, Randy. Quasi Adolfo Mensa making more moves. He's made some releases. All right, so the moves today, as far as additions, Aaron Jones, Sam Darnold, John Parker Romo, kicker from the XFL, and releases Dean Lowry and William Kwenku. I think that's it, right? Making things happen. I can't remember the last time I've seen a free agency like this by the Vikings, where it's just obvious needs. Just get after it, and they are doing just that. Red Switch, how do you think KOC is feeling about Cousins? I don't know. I'm sure he misses him or whatever, but he's gone now. I know he really liked him and he really wanted him to stay, and he probably understood that business is business, and at some point the rubber was going to meet the road. This was eventually going to happen, and I think he accepted that. Smitty says Armstead via free agency and Snead for 2/3 happening today. Speak it to no. See, I'm gonna disagree with you. I don't think they're gonna have the money left to make those two moves, because it's not just trading for Snead, it's also giving him that contract that he wants. And corner's just not where I'm putting money at right now. And 2/3, we don't. I mean, it's going to have to be 2 future thirds because we don't even have a third this year. Now, I think Armstead. Hey, thumbs up. Snead, nah. He's gonna what, like 19, 20 million a year. Dave says we do need cornerbacks. I agree that we need cornerbacks, but where do you put them at as far as priority? For me, they're in the back of the line. Interior defensive line is the priority before even thinking about corners. And I would address center before corners. I would take a shot to say that if you can boost up the interior defensive line, move Harrison Phillips away from nose, bring on a guy like DJ Reader to take that spot, and then draft, say, I mean, even worst case, Braden Fisk, or even better, Byron Murphy II. You address the interior defensive line. I would take a shot to see what our current roster of corners look like with this front seven. Although, I mean, Andrew Booth Jr. does need to be replaced. Caleb Evans is really hanging on by a thread. So I understand. I get it. But I'm not prioritizing corner right now. It's a need, but not right now. Smitty, hey, we're right there. Cool. Appreciate you, man. You've been supporting me for a while. Sam Snead says, I wish we just took the L's when Cousins went down and traded Hunter last season. I do wish they traded Hunter last season. And if we took the L's, we would have had a better draft pick. But the players, they're not going to bow down for the sake of draft picks. Most of these guys, you got to remember, yes, there's guys like Christian Darrisaw and Justin Jefferson, superstar players, but most of the time, these players, they're fighting just to stay in the league. They're not going to bow down and take plays off because they know that's going to show up on film for their next contract negotiations. They're fighting all the time. So we say the word tank. Really, the only way that you can actually tank is moves made by your GM cutting players, as well as moves made by the coaching staff, benching players to see what other guys can do. But as far as the players themselves, nah, they're going out. All out. Chris says we should look at Xavier Howard. I think that's how you spell his name. I think that's how you spell it as well. I think Brian Flores worked with him in Miami at one point too. I wouldn't mind it as long as it's a cheap deal. Miami, man, they've been losing players. They got to pay Tua now. They're already paying Tyreek Hill, and it worked out to where they still had a very solid defense, but that was with Tua on a rookie deal. Now they're going to have to pay him. So Christian Wilkins, Van Ginkel, he's gone. Xavier Howard. Dom says go get Duke Shelley. Should have never let him walk. Should have kept him. But again, that's in the past. I'm done. Getting on Kwesi Adafo-Mensah. He is cooking right now. Jaggy says, hello, I am new here. I am a Packers fan. How do you feel, Jaggy, about Aaron Jones signing with the Minnesota Vikings? Jaggy, earlier at the start of this live stream, said that Aaron Jones is more than just a player. He's beloved by the town he plays in. There's only less than a handful of players like that in the league, that they got Aaron Jones back. He basically owns Green Bay. How do you feel about him going to Minnesota after they tried to get him to take a pay cut? Because I think you dudes are pissed. I think y'all are heated right now. The Vikings, they don't have anybody like that, I don't think. As far as maybe CJ Ham? Nah, but even then, not to the degree of Aaron Jones. All right, updates. Anything? Gosh darn it. Nothing new. Nothing new yet. Let's go to Bleacher Report for SNGs. That dude is heated. Aaron Jones, he wants vengeance. He demands vengeance. Nothing new. Come on, man. I need one of these moves to be made. Jaggy says, no one is going to have the leadership as Jones, and I feel so sad that he left. Yeah. I figured that. That's tough. And to see it, it's one thing to see him leave and kind of get the raw end of the deal, but to go to your number one rival, that's gotta sting a bit, I would imagine. All right, we'll get 5 more minutes. We'll go to 1 hour and 15. Just trying to see if any other, as soon as I get off of this live stream, something's going to happen. Something. Eric says, how do you feel with Davenport going to the Lions? I mean, is he going to play? Probably not. I don't care. And even if he does play, oh, guess what? You got to generate pressure against Brian O'Neill or Christian Darrisaw. Good luck with that. Chris says, Randy, get off the stream so moves can happen. I'm going to give it 4 minutes. That's exactly what's going to happen, too. Opa Lopagus says, the dead cap still sucks pretty bad. It's 1 year. It's 1 year, bro. 28 and a half. In fact, let's go over those because it's going to be Kirk Cousins, Danielle Hunter, and Marcus Davenport. It's 1 year. Bite the bullet now, and you're done. You move on. So, obviously, with Kirk Cousins, that's going to be $28.5 million. For Danielle Hunter, that's going to be about $15 million. Marcus Davenport, $6.8 million. So that's roughly almost $50 million in dead cap. But it's just for this year. It accelerates all this year, and you're done. So, yes, in 2024, just all things being equal, it's like $50 million in dead cap. Well, that's a rough one. But then in 2025, if this ad could get out of my face here, 2025, and this is not including these new deals that are about to happen on Wednesday, 2025, $136 million in cap space. Suffer now, reap the benefits later on. It's going to be fine. Eric says that 2025 cap will let Kwesi go full on Gordon Ramsay next year. Yep. Going to be cooking. Tyson says, you like AEW? I don't mind it. Quite honestly, I have this because of a Packers skit I did, I think 2 years ago, something like that. I was like, I need a championship belt. I love WWE, but they didn't have it at Walmart. So I was like, all right, I'll do AEW. I don't mind it. Brody says, don't forget Smith's dead cap. Yeah, but you're also saving like $12 million. So it's fine. But I get what you're saying. I guess I'm looking at it from a standpoint of just void years, dead cap, I guess is the best way to explain it. Because, yeah, when you release a player, that's one thing. But when you've been signing guys, or in the case of Marcus Davenport, a bad contract, signing guys to expensive dollars, and you're trying to push it down the road, void years, and then they're gone, and then you're taking a cap even after they're gone, that's different to me than outright releasing a player that, all right, the contract, it's a little bit too steep now. We're going to get out of it. We'll take whatever dead cap is there, but we're saving X amount of dollars. It's kind of yin and yang for me, but I get what you're saying. All right. Last minute. Come on. TPP. Nothing. All right. I think that's going to do it, man. But I swear, as soon as I get off, something is going to happen. Hey, thank you guys for joining this live stream. We're going to get after it. The moment something happens, I'll do a reaction video. We'll see you then.